All right. Cool. So no call on Tuesday. Pretty much what we had anticipated last Friday was occurring yesterday for the most part. So if I recall correctly from our last call, we had pretty much analyzed the internal failed reaction and a potential reference point to give us higher pricing. But unfortunately, that did not work out. And this is a great example right here of why I don't necessarily do limits or any type of scenario like that without my SL being at the invalidation. So the invalidation was never met, right? This is only a reference point. And as you can see, there is potentially a solidified low in here. But that would just be hindsight at this point. However, the bias was right. The failed reaction was there. And as you can see, this is what has propelled us, into basically taking out our POI. However, something to note, I'm not bearish whatsoever. I'm not anticipating this to be a big move as of now. But we know from a 3-month time frame, we have an indecision candle, but you guys know that we like to reference our wicks, right? We reference our wicks. This wick happened immediately after the indecision, and this is what propelled us lower. If we look deeper, it doesn't necessarily look too clear, right? It doesn't look too clear. So I'm only going to be referencing this from the 3-month time frame, and that would be a bit hard to justify, just because if we're going to go off a 3-month time frame, then we're also going to go off of, we're also going to go off of 3-month momentum, which is extremely high at the moment, as you guys already know. So internally, right, it looks like we're getting another scenario, kind of like what we got here, right? I don't know if you guys remember when we had called the confirmation of an LG here. If you guys can probably go back to the Zoom here, where this had pretty much confirmed or pretty much that we're going to start slowing down. We've pretty much peaked, and that's because of also, once again, right, a failed reaction. This one being to the upside. However, from the perspective of our internal pricing now, right, this would be technically a liquidity grab into the upside or into the downside. So if we break through, it's very probable in my eyes for us to start seeing a recovery, at least down here. Oh, that was ugly. At least down here. It makes a lot of sense for me. It seems like we are topping out here. I don't necessarily go off of waves. I know a couple of you guys do go off of waves, but what I'm going off of is, right, the potential liquidity grab confirming and giving us that continuation downwards. And also, because of this liquidity grab potentially forming, we are seeing, right, a very bearish closure, right? Something pretty substantial in that point or in that manner. However, I cannot really assume anything outside of the continuation, and the 50% matches right around our structural point. So once again, this would be pretty much the internal reference point that we'd be looking at potentially for next week. If we get a good reaction next week, then it looks like the week after that would probably propel us even higher. However, if we are to not give any type of transition internally here, we could start seeing some sort of decline, and that would be massive. That would actually be massive if we break any type of swing point, because we've already had our continuation BOS. And as of now, from our swing structure, right, we haven't necessarily solidified our high. And if we are to solidify our high after taking this out, then this could be an internal liquidity grab. And that would only make sense because of our potential POI up here. So a couple of scenarios can happen, but as we can see, it is the daily time frame. So we have quite a bit of time until this gives us anything of such. Coming into EURUSD, we finally met our target. Like we waited basically since here, which was beginning of June, month and a half almost, and that was finally met. I know a couple of you guys got some really good sells on that. Very nice, because like we said, this was the reference point that we had assumed. But if you're playing based on reaction, you can very easily simply see, right, the breaker structure there, the mitigation and potential internal structure if you're trading in that manner. But the narrative was played out after the POI, right? A good scenario here too. 3 things that can happen to POI: open 50% liquidity grab, and the post mitigation after that. Very good. Just scenario from an H1 perspective. And I believe there was I saw a couple of you guys trading off of this here too, so that definitely played out for a lot of you. So in terms of that was probably trade of the week. I didn't necessarily see anything too appealing, but all I really saw this week was just how we cannot really consider a continuation BOS as a sign of reversal, and that's why it's named as such. Continuation BOS, continuation, right? Even here, continuation BOS, there, continuation, right? However, now, just like with DXY, if we dive internally, right, we obviously have our full internal range here, right? This is a continuation BOS into the upside, but we're still bearish. However, what I'm noting here is this. We already confirmed a reaction and then failed immediately afterwards. And that's what caused today's scenario here to give us a potential sign of bullishness. And this, because this is now being taken out, if we are to continue and actually break fully through our previous high, which would be our minor intraday high, major intraday high, depending on the time frame you're looking at, this would now imply actually wrong one. This would now imply a potential liquidity grab. But as of now, the only thing holding that up is this inefficiency fill here. This is what's holding price up at the moment. Now, whether this is going to create a brand new low, I'm not too confident. Like I said, just because of this scenario here, we already had a failed reaction, right? Potential quote unquote unwillingness internally to continue lower. So I'm more so favoring at least some type of recovery to the upside. Now, whether we're back up here and we sell again, awesome. But I would more so anticipate some type of higher pricing there. However, if we're gonna get into the specifics there, if we are to come back up, now we're looking at potentially a couple of weeks worth of price action, maybe 1-2 weeks. And by the time those 1-2 weeks are up, we're going to be looking at potentially the end of the month, and that would be a pretty bullish closure if we are to give that type of recovery there, especially now that we have taken out, you know, a very big point of liquidity here. So it's something to just be wary of, because at the moment we are right at, just like with DXY, we are at a bullish point in EU, right? So however, right, I would more so like to see this wrong button. Would more so like to see the recovery, the liquidity grab, the transition, and then see us move higher. That would make a lot more sense, because as of now, any internal bullish move is still considered counter trend because of our previous direction. So I can't necessarily go off of more bullishness or go off of a bullish bias unless I get a bullish transition, a bullish liquidity grab, something internally. Outside of the M5, I would more so want something with a major intraday and swing to then give us potentially a very big move, which would result in probably a couple of months just because we have been bearish for a very, very long time. And now that we've cleared a major point of liquidity, we're looking at a POI. It's, you know, it's potentially there. I'm not gonna say it's probable, but it's potentially there if we get a lot more signs internally. Last one, AU. This one, we called our POI, I believe it was like 2-3 weeks ago. Go to HTML. Oops. Nope. All right, we called our POI here. That perfectly met and has now met our overall target. However, we already knew that from last week. However, just like with EU, we are seeing a failed reaction internally. And the only thing that's bothering me here is that we have a ton of liquidity down here. But we did, right, have our confirmed reaction, right? So the only thing that's holding this up, this would, in my opinion, I would really much more like to see this be cleared. And the only thing that would be holding this up, excuse me. Sorry about that. The only thing holding us up here from this is that point of interest, because as you can see there, the wick there was mitigated. And if we go even a little bit higher, right, you can see that this overall, based on the wick, is a point of interest. So this is what's going to be holding this up. So if you get our bullish transition here, we're looking at a reversal, which would tie with the DXY EU potential bias. Whereas if we fail there, then we're definitely coming down here. So all this right here is going to be crucial. Excuse me. But yeah, I don't necessarily want to favor the sells, only because, like I said, I don't like to trade after that failed reaction. So it would take more for me to confirm, right, that this is gonna continue lower, which would obviously be based on the POI. If we are to take preliminary structure with momentum, with some type of speed, then I could assume a downside movement, but you could also assume a bullish move and a bearish move potentially. But yeah, that goes for that. But outside of that, we are now, like I said, with DXY, very interesting area. We've met our targets. We've met every major liquidity point that we've wanted. With AU and EU, it only took a couple of months. But now is when it gets interesting, because now is really that point of uncertainty. Like I said before, whenever we meet these big targets, we start to see bigger reversals. And we'll, you know, this will be another testament to that. So with that being said, do you guys have any questions for me today? Did you guys watch the last Zoom? Did you guys think about what we talked about last time? Cool. Any questions? Yeah, about what we talked about last week. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you gotta go watch last Zoom. Yep. As of now, I have two videos that I'm pretty much almost certain on. One of them would have been transitions. The other one would be something revolving circle of competence. And I'm not going to dive into the specifics of that. Those are, and I have space for one more. If there's a really good one, I could probably do another one. But I don't have any ETA for these, so please just don't ask me about them. I'm super busy right now, but I'm definitely getting to them. Did you see the video last week, bro? Did you see the Zoom last week? Yes or no? Yeah, we talked about that. Go back to that video. We talked about that. I said I would do that for YouTube. Yeah. Yeah, but that for the model stuff, that's gonna take way longer than these videos. These 3 videos are gonna come first. Just because I need to have a lot of conversations with a lot of you in order to get that data for the models. We caught this yesterday. Okay, so I see, first things first, I see bullish, excuse me. I see internal LG, then I see a POI, makes sense. Yep, break even here. But then you see another LG here, which would solidify the high before you take out structure. So that would be your reason to get out. Is that disruption? Let me see, 1 second. Yes. Yes, and your parameter here, I wouldn't have done that candle. I would have done the entire scenario there. But yeah, that would be disruption. Weak reaction off of the bearish POI, and then it reverses, and yeah, that would give you that sign of reversal. Cool. Cool. Any other questions? Anything you guys want to consider? I mean, anything you guys want to consult today? We got more you guys this week than last week, so. You're in a UJ now? Yeah, cool. Go for it. Yeah, I was looking at that this morning, actually. I'm like, wow, that was trade of the year. Basically, trade of the year. This has been bullish for as long as I can remember. Ridiculous. This is crazy. This is definitely trade of the year. Just looking at this now is interesting too. Before I open your chart. LG. Maybe potential LG there, but momentum. POI. This would be invalidation. Annoying. Yep, so model, and this is your entry here. I don't necessarily like this one because of momentum, so I'm more so favoring that. Is this right now? Let's see. Oops. Yeah, I kind of more so favor the bearish side. However, we have not taken out structure. You can see liquidity here. That's been taken. Inefficiency here. Yeah, it could be bearish, at least for the short term. But this is good. There's one thing I hate about UJ. It does this a lot. It does that a lot. I hate that. One thing I don't like about UJ. Basically, the main reason why I don't trade it. I still remember when this was the thing here. Yeah, I remember this. We even have markups here like from early February. I wonder what those are. Do not remember this. Imagine this here. It looks like, 1 second. Wow, it looks like somebody must have talked to me about this scenario here. Imagine that. Imagine this buy here. Look at this. I'm actually gonna do this instead. That aged like fine wine. That aged like fine wine. Look at that. Technically never broke even. Crazy. Yeah, does anybody have any questions? Anything they want to talk about? And I have some journals I didn't get to last week, but I'm gonna do all of them right now after the call. GJ, how about you show me GJ? Show me GJ, show me what you see. Are you gonna show me some charts or any questions, or am I ending it off here? Yeah, bro, if you follow the requirements, yeah. All right, I guess no charts then. Cool, I guess we end it off here. No, I mean, he wanted me to see GJ, but I want to see what he sees with GJ. And if you don't show me, cool, it's all good. Yeah, this trade, but okay, there we go. Let's see. Okay, so zoom in. I need to see why you're entering. Excuse me. I need to see why you're entering here and why you're entering here. I need you to zoom in. Because they both make sense, definitely directionally. I just need to see where the execution part is. I just need you to zoom in to see why you entered there. Okay, let's see. Okay, this is the second one. So where are you entering from? Yeah, I do too, but I want to see him. I want to see what he sees first before I point it out.
Motherfucking ass. What do you worry about?
All right, next chart. Wait. One. So where did you enter? Because here it shows that you entered here. This is what I'm assuming, that you entered here, and that's why I said zoom in. I want to know why you entered there. But what I'm seeing here, I don't see it. Can you zoom a little? Yes. There you go. But yeah, I'm super confused, bro. Super confused. My entry is one. Image is wrong. Okay, well that's what I'm saying. You need to show me on the chart what you're trading. Where is your entry? Like how can you, for example, how can you? This looks fine, but I cannot see where your entries are, or I can't see why your entries are where they are. What I'm saying is, your charts have to be, you have to be able to explain what you're looking at, and I have to be able to read what you're looking at so that it looks like it actually makes sense. If it doesn't, like for example, this doesn't make sense to me. I see volume, I see, and I see an entry here, but I don't necessarily see why. No, bro, send me the chart. Send me the chart. Why are you sending me a price? Send me the chart. I need to see what you're looking at, because how can I critique what you're looking at if I can't see what you're looking at? Like, this isn't the first time you've seen me go over a chart, and most people that have shown me charts, I can see what they're seeing, but I need to see what you're seeing. And and if you aren't, one, showing me specifics, or two, explaining it, then how can I critique? Okay. Yeah, it's cool, Let's see. So you entered here, why? And if you can turn your mic on, that would probably be better too. So you said you took this trade, but I thought that was going to go down and I closed it for no reason after all. Then I said, show me specifics. You're telling me that you entered here, but your entry is here. That's what you see what I'm confused about? You're telling me you entered here. But your entry's over here. Like, come on, I need you to be a little bit more clear, bro. I can't just be sitting here. Please. Like, turn your mic on, send me charts, something. I don't want to just cut him off, bro, but I need something here. And I don't know if it's the language thing, because I know he's Portuguese. I don't know if it's a language thing. But I don't. Yeah. Yeah, I think he's confused. I need you to DM me, bro. Because you've never sent me a journal. I don't think you've ever DM'd me outside of when you joined. So if you're gonna DM me. But if not, I can't just be sitting here. I'm very confused on. I can't critique you if you don't show me. Simple as that. No, yeah, it's okay. Like, it's okay. But if you want me to critique you, you know how to message me. You have a bunch of Portuguese guys helping you if there's a language. It's not the first time, bro. He's been in RCV for a year. But I need you to be more clear, bro. I'm gonna just go ahead and end it off here. I need you to be more clear. I need you to talk to somebody, me or the Portuguese guys, to help you. But I can't just be sitting here, bro. No, you're good. But I need you to be more clear, bro. I need you to. We've been sitting here for about 15 minutes and we didn't get anywhere. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, Sally, you can go. Yeah, that's cool. Cool, we can make this the last one for today. Excuse me. Okay, cool. Let me see what time frames. Continuation on the 30, nice. Continuation on the 15. So you Yep, that's fine. I actually saw this. This was, I believe, a couple of days ago, right? It was like Wednesday, was it? When this happened? I believe it was Wednesday, right? Monday, yeah, I do remember seeing the scenario because it was a bit choppy. Yeah, Monday. No, yeah, I see. So this correct, this correct as well, right? But this is good because you basically, how do I put this? You, I want to say adapted, because you basically, what you're doing here is you looked for the excuse for the continuation based on the biases that were shown before. But this is not necessarily something I would take fully 100%, even though it does make sense because they're just from the open into the high, but it is M1, and I also didn't like how we had multiple reactions here. However, I'm glad that it worked out. But I think the more important thing here is to note that the higher time frame biases, right, have much more security than the smaller time frame, right? Because obviously this, you could have easily assumed that this is a break into the upside and a reversal into the upside, but it's good to note that your higher time frame biases are much more secure, and you just basically looked for that excuse. So yeah, this is good. Yeah, this is good. But I do have a question. Why take a scalp TP when your bias has been based on major intraday, minor intraday? Why only take the scalp TP? Or are you just scalping while trying to... Oh, okay. Because it's okay if you're scalping, but you're trying to follow the intraday trends, just so you could get much more security. But I'm just curious. But yeah, does anybody have any more questions? Anything else? Yep, technically yes. So in this scenario, if this hadn't happened, let's say the only reasonable, for me personally, the only reasonable scenario that would have worked would have been this, but my invalidation would have been the exact same as you, right? So if you're going super conservative, this would have had to be, if this is quote unquote a limit, the invalidation has to be the SL here. And the only way that I could break even was, yeah, through your scalp TP. But yeah, that makes a lot of sense. However, based on your scenario, if you're taking a trade here, I would definitely say your break even is there, because that's the internal scalp range, because you're trading this perimeter here. But either way, either one is fine. Either one is fine. But if I was to be super conservative with the perimeter and the SL, then I would have waited for the entire leg to be taken out. Because over time, this here, going off of the internal break here, sometimes it will, but it could give you another push up and then go down. because you'll sometimes see whiplashes. But yeah, but no, if you're taking this break even, by all means stick to it. But yeah, I've seen stuff like this and it can be super annoying. But yeah, I guess we can end it off here. I'll probably do a call on Tuesday just to see how we react from what we talked about today. But yeah, if you guys have journals, send them to me right now. I still have a couple I need to do, but I'm gonna do them right now anyway. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for hopping on, and I'll see you guys on Tuesday.